Let's talk about something that makes you feel productive, but is quietly keeping you broke. Small clients. And before you get mad and throw your phone into a lake, I'm not insulting small businesses. I own one. I am one. This is not some go big or go home chest beating nonsense. This is me telling you the uncomfortable truth most of us learn the hard way. Small clients can keep your business alive and keep you stuck at the exact same time. And if you're stressed, overworked, bad at marketing, bad at sales, and you're checking your bank account before you check your email, this is probably part of why. Because small clients feel like oxygen. You get one, you say yes fast, they're grateful, they respond quickly, you feel like, okay, the wheels are turning. You get that little dopamine hit and you tell yourself, at least money's coming in. At least I'm busy. At least something is happening. And in the beginning, that's not only normal, it's necessary. If you're brand new, you don't get to be picky. You need reps, you need proof, you need cash flow. But here's the part nobody warns you about. Small clients don't just buy less, they consume more. And that's where the math turns against you. Because you wake up one day and your calendar is full, your inbox is on fire, your phone won't stop buzzing, and you're working nonstop. But your bank account doesn't match your effort. And you start thinking something is wrong with you. Like you must be bad at business or bad at sales. Or you need more leads. No, a lot of times you're not failing. You're just trapped in the small client hamster wheel. Let me make this real with Perchmer. We do promo, apparel, embroidery, wrap, swag, company stores, all of it. And we've had seasons where we were slammed with small orders. I'm talking 10 hats here, 12 shirts there, a banner, a rush hoodie job because somebody forgot they had an event tomorrow. We need this by Friday order on a Wednesday afternoon. And listen, I love helping people. I really do. But the painful truth is this. That kind of work makes you feel busy, not stable. It makes you feel needed, not safe. It makes you feel like you're grinding, not building. Because every small order has the same steps as a big order. The same emails, the same questions, the same setup, the same back and forth. The same chance for somebody to change something. And when it goes sideways the same way. They still get upset. They still want it fixed. They still want it now. But the profit is not even close. So you're doing big client effort for small client pay. Same work, different life. And that's the trap. Small clients feel good at first because the yes comes quick. It feels safe. Big clients don't say yes fast. Big clients do the thing that makes small business owners want to crawl under a desk. They make you wait. They have approval. They have timelines. They have budgets. They have layers. They have meetings about meetings. So when you're already stressed, your brain does what every stressed brain does. It picks the path of least resistance. You go for the quick yes. You go for the order you can get today. You go for the person who answers right away. And again, early on, that's fine. But if you keep building your business around quick yeses, you accidentally build a business that requires constant availability, speed, flexibility, chaos, and once that becomes your normal, it's hard to escape. Not impossible, just uncomfortable. Here's what small clients do to your day. They chop it into pieces. They don't plan far ahead. They forget stuff. They change their mind. They send you messages like it's a group chat. They need reassurance. They need hand-holding. And you spend all day switching your brain from one thing to the next. Quote, proof, fixed, invoice, follow-up, rush, apologize, redo, repeat. And now you're reactive. You're not leading anything. You're just responding. When you live your whole life responding, you never get to think. You never get to plan. You never get to fix your sales process. You never get to build your pipeline. You never get to breathe. That's why you feel like you're working nonstop, but nothing changes. Because nothing can change. Your whole business is built on small, urgent, low-margin yeses. And then the emotional cost kicks in. This part matters because nobody talks about it. Small clients don't just cost you money, they cost you focus, they cost you confidence, they cost you patience. Because when you have 10 small clients, everything is urgent. One late payment throws you off, one cancel ordered spikes your anxiety, one complaint ruins your entire day. Your emotions are tied to too many little outcomes. That's not freedom, that's fragility. And fragility is exhausting. This is where owners tell me, Chris, I'm busy, I'm booked, I'm slammed. And I'm like, cool, but are you making money? Are you sleeping at night? Are you building anything that can survive without you answering your phone at 9:47 at night? Because busy is not a business model. Busy is just a full calendar. Busy doesn't tell you anything about margin. Busy doesn't tell you anything about predictability. Busy doesn't tell you anything about sustainability. Some of the busiest owners I know are the most stressed because their business depends on too many small yeses to survive. And the admin multiplies like rabbits. 10 small clients is not the same as one big client. 10 small clients is 10 invoices, 10 follow-ups, 10 payment schedules, 10 sets of expectations, 10 different personalities, and half of them pay whenever the moon feels right. Admin grows faster than revenue, and admin is where your energy goes to die. And then the resentment shows up. This is uncomfortable, but I'm going to say it because you felt it. Over time, small clients can make you resent your own business. Not because they're bad people, not because they did something evil, just because you're giving them an insane amount of attention compared to what your business gets back. You start feeling overworked, underpaid, underappreciated, and you start getting snippy and you start dreading emails. And that's how burnout happens. Not because you can't work, because your effort and your reward are out of sync. Now let me flip this, because this is where most people get it backwards. Bigger clients can actually reduce stress. Yeah, I said it. Bigger clients are not always easier, but they are often calmer. Because bigger clients tend to plan further ahead. They have process. They have budget. They want outcomes, not favors. They don't need you to be available at all hours because they don't run their business like a panic attack. And when you have a bigger client, your week changes. You can schedule instead of scramble. You can execute instead of chase. You can stop living in your inbox. And here's the wild part. When you land bigger clients, your confidence changes. Not in a fake, I'm a boss babe way, in a real way. You speak clearer. You set boundaries easier. You stop apologizing for your process. Not because you're arrogant, because you're not desperate. Desperation is what small clients frequently feed on. Confidence is what bigger clients respect. Now, I can already hear somebody typing, yeah, but big clients are hard. Listen, big clients are not harder. They're different. They require patience. They require follow-up. They require you to not quit after one ignored email. They require you to be okay with longer cycles, and they don't require daily chaos. They don't require constant firefighting. The stress is up front, not constant. And I would take upfront stress all day over daily chaos, because daily chaos is what breaks you. Let me give you a real Perchmer example. We've been doing this push where we are going after bigger accounts, corporate stuff, uniform programs, company stores, onboarding kits, trade show swag, all that. And we had an outreach push where I committed to 10 semi-warm outreaches a day, not cold, semi-warm, meaning I'm not texting random strangers in the woods. It's people I have some connection to, a past conversation, a mutual friend, someone who follows someone in the community, a business I know exists and I can reach the decision maker without breaking into the building, Mission Impossible style, 10 a day. The reason I do that is because motivation is fake. Structure is real. If you wait until you feel like doing sales, you're going to be broke forever. So we do 10 a day and we track it. We also track our active opportunities with something I call a 25 open board. It's literally a board that shows the active conversations that matter. Not maybe someday, not they liked my post, real open deals. Because when you don't track your pipeline becomes your vibes. And vibes don't pay payroll. So we run 10 outreaches a day and we aim to keep 25 real conversations open at all times. Now here's what happened. One of those outreaches turned into a meeting with a company that has around 500 employees. And this is the part I want you to hear. The setup work is basically the same whether the company has 4 employees or 500. You still have to learn the logo. You still have to set the brand colors. You still have to build the store or the ordering process. You still have to price it. You still have to communicate. Same work, but the difference is the outcome. If a 4-person company orders shirts, cool, great, love it. But that doesn't change my year. If a 500-person company needs trade show stuff, employee apparel, swag boxes for traveling teams, onboarding kits, seasonal refreshes, now we're talking about stability. That kind of account could be $100,000 a year, maybe more. And Perchmer does around $700,000 annually. So if I land 3 clients like that, I'm not just busy, I'm safe. I'm not scrambling every week, I'm building. And I'm telling you this because a lot of small business owners chase small orders because they feel like they're not ready for bigger clients. Ready is not a feeling. Ready is a decision and a process. Now let me give you the ugly example too. We lost a big former client right before I took over the business because of quality issues that weren't my fault. That account was $100,000 plus, and losing it was like getting punched in the mouth right when I stepped in. That kind of loss doesn't hurt your ego, it hurts your life. because now you're replacing big stability with a bunch of small chaos. So I've been trying to win them back for years. And one of my outreaches during my 10-a-day push was to them. And I said, basically, look, I know what happened. It wasn't me, but I get why you left. Would you give us another shot? And now we're in contract talks. That's real. That's not a motivational story. That's me trying to fix a hole in the boat before we sink. And that's why I'm so aggressive about telling you the small client trap, because small clients can make you feel like you're doing fine while your business stays fragile. And fragility will eventually catch up. Because here's the stability part. Ask yourself this: if you lost your 3 biggest clients tomorrow, would you survive? If the answer is, I'd be stressed but okay, you're building something solid. If your answer is, I'd be screwed, you're living on small client oxygen. That's not a character flaw, that's a warning light. And if you're hearing this and thinking, yeah, that's me, good, that means you're seeing it. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Now, let me be clear again so nobody twists this. I'm not saying fire all your small clients tomorrow. I'm not saying only chase Fortune 500 companies. I'm not saying ignore the people who helped you early. This isn't arrogance. This is intention. This is understanding why your business feels fragile even when it's technically working. Because if you keep saying yes to small, chaotic work, you're building more of the trap. The shift is not about destroying what you have. It's about what you build next. It's about deciding going forward, I'm going to stop saying yes automatically. Because every time you say yes to a small, chaotic job, you're also saying no to something bigger. You're saying no to a calmer week. You're saying no to a better fit client. You're saying no to stability. And you don't feel that cost right away because the small job gives you a quick relief. But over time, it stacks. And then you wake up and you're like, how am I working this hard and still stressed about payroll? That's the question that should scare you. Not because you're doomed, because it means your client mix is the problem. And client mix is fixable. Now let's talk about the thing most owners get wrong when they finally feel the pain. They go, I just need more leads. No, more small leads just means more admin, more interruptions, more follow-up, more emotional whiplash. The lever is not volume. The lever is who you spend your energy on, because your energy is the business. If you're the owner, you're the engine. And when the engine is drained, everything falls apart. So the move is not more. The move is different. Different leads, different size, different fit. Now, how do you do that without blowing up your business? You start with the truth. You don't have to make some dramatic announcement. You don't have to post a rant online about how you're leveling up and cutting off negative people. Please don't do that. That's embarrassing. You just start shifting your yeses. That's it. You can still serve smaller clients well. You can still be grateful. You can still do good work. You just stop letting small clients define your entire business model. And the easiest way to start doing that is to get honest about what kinds of work cause chaos. Because not all small clients are the same. Some small clients are great. They're clear. They plan. They pay. They don't act like your Amazon Prime with emotions. Keep those. I'm talking about the small clients that bring chaos. The ones that eat your week. The ones that turn one order into 15 phone calls. The ones where the profit is tiny and the stress is huge. The ones where you finish and you're like, why did I say yes to this? Stop building more of that. And here's where most owners mess it up. They wait until they're overwhelmed to decide. They wait until they're exhausted, and then they make emotional decisions. They say yes because they're scared. They say no because they're burned out. Neither one is strategy. You need a filter, and the filter is simple. Does this move my business towards stability? That's it. Not can I do it? Not will they like me? Not do I feel guilty? Does this move me towards stability? Because stability is the goal, not ego, not bragging rights, not the biggest logo on your website. Breathing room. The kind of breathing room where you can actually lead, where you can actually think, where you can actually build systems, where you can actually sleep. Now let's talk about outreach, because this is where people get weird. When you target bigger clients, outreach actually gets simpler. Not easier emotionally, because rejection still sucks, but simpler, because your messaging becomes clearer. You're not trying to sell a random one-off thing to a random person. You're offering a real outcome. At Perchmer, when we go after bigger clients, we're not saying, hey, want some shirts? We're saying, hey, we solved the headache of merch. We handle the company store. We handle fulfillment. We handle onboarding kits. We make sure your brand doesn't look like 5 different vendors fought in a parking lot. That's the conversation. And that kind of conversation pulls bigger clients in, because bigger clients want fewer problems. They don't want more vendors. They want one partner that can handle it. And the follow-up matters even more here because big clients don't move fast. They have approvals. They have timelines. They have competing priorities. If you send one email and don't hear back and you quit, you're not being respectful. You're being impatient. Big clients expect follow-up. It's not awkward. It's professional. And I know a lot of you hate follow-up because it feels needy. It only feels needy when you have no structure, when you're just randomly checking in like a lost puppy. Follow-up feels normal when you have a reason. When you say, hey, I'm circling back because I know this got buried. Do you want me to send pricing options or are we pausing until next quarter? That's not needy. That's leadership. And this is where I'm going to say something that might hurt your feelings a little bit, but it will help your bank account. If you want stability, you have to be willing to be ignored. You have to be willing to not get the quick yes. You have to be willing to play a longer game because the quick yes is the small client drug. It makes you feel better today, but it keeps you broke long term. Now, let me tie this back to the tools I actually use because I'm not here to preach. I'm here to give you something you can do. 10 semi-warm outreaches per day. That's one tool. Not magic, not branding, just a tool. And the 25 open board is another tool. Because if you don't track your open opportunities, you will drift right back into chaos. You'll get distracted. You'll chase whatever feels urgent. You'll take whatever shows up. And you'll tell yourself it's because you're hustling. No, it's because you're not steering. These tools are how I steer because I'm not special. I'm just stubborn and tired. And I got sick of feeling like the business owned me. Now, you might be thinking, okay, Chris, that sounds nice, but I don't know how to do that. Good, that's normal. Most small business owners don't need more information. They need structure. You need structure. You need guardrails. You need somebody to tell you what to do when your brain is fried. And that's literally why I built $0 coaching, because this stuff sucked without it. I don't say that as a pitch. I'm saying it like a guy who learned the hard way. When you're stressed, you don't need another motivational quote. You need a simple plan you can follow even when you're exhausted. That's also why I made the $29 30-day jumpstart. Because if you try to figure it out on your own while you're running payroll and answering emails and putting out fires, you're going to keep doing what feels safe. Small clients, quick yeses, busy. And you'll keep wondering why you're still stressed out. The goal of that jumpstart is not to make you a genius. It's to give you a daily structure so you stop drifting. So you start building the kind of pipeline that creates breathing room because you deserve breathing room. And no, that's not motivation. That's a practical statement. You cannot run a business for 10 years on adrenaline and chaos. You'll either quit, blow up, or hate your life. Now, let's land this clean. Here's the hard truth that sets you free. Small clients don't keep you broke because they're bad. They keep you broke because they keep you busy. Busy hides problems. Busy delays growth. Busy makes you feel responsible, but busy is not stability. And if your business feels fragile, this is probably why. So starting today, I want you to ask one question before you say yes to the next thing. Does this move me towards stability? If it does, good. If it doesn't, be honest. And if you still say yes because you need cash, fine, no shame. Just don't pretend it's a growth strategy. Just call it what it is, a short-term move to survive. And while you're surviving, start building the other lane, the lane with bigger clients, the lane with fewer, better conversations, the lane where you're not emotionally tied to 10 tiny outcomes. Because the real goal is not more clients. It's fewer clients that fit better. It's more breathing room. It's a business that doesn't feel like it collapsed because one person paid late. That's the whole game. Small clients don't keep you busy. They keep you broke. Now you know. Start choosing differently.